Today I'm going to show you how to make a big old pot of braised beef for some street style tacos. It takes about 15 minutes of active time, and I promise if you make these, it will put you in a good mood. So, let's cook. Okay, so very short and simple ingredient list. Get yourself a nice chuck roast. As you can see, I kind of like to pick out one that's nicely and evenly marbled. And if you notice this is a little wet, that's because I salted it maybe 30 or 40 minutes ago. You could leave this overnight to dry the surface so it sears better. We're gonna do that in a second. And then for the seasonings, I'm gonna make a little kind of braising liquid with a bunch of spices, some tomato paste, beef bouillon, water, and then there's some garlic cloves, and that's really all there is to it. So we're gonna swing back here, sear this, and then create our braising liquid back up here. Okay, so I'm just gonna dry off this beef a little bit just because that moisture has started to go in there, and then we're gonna sear our beef. Again, this is really the only moment that you'll get to be able to do the Maillard reaction in a braise, so you may as well take advantage and get some nice browning on the bottom. And to do that, getting rid of this water first will help the cause. And then while that sears, I'm gonna do all of our liquid and then we'll combine them. So let's head back up this way. Okay, very, very simple what we're doing here. I'm just gonna get about, I don't know, enough water to basically cover our chuck roast there. Or mostly cover it in the braising pot. Then I'm just completely eyeballing this. Well, maybe I should measure it for you guys. So if you have fresh beef broth, go ahead and use it. I don't. This is why I always keep, something like beef bouillon in the fridge, just because it is very useful to have. So this is, basically that roasted beef base. Toss it down in there. Then we're gonna add, that was probably about, 15 grams or so of that. Then I'm gonna add another pretty big squirt of tomato paste, about 30 grams. And then for my spices, so I'll tell you why I have each of these three spices. So this is some ground guajillo chili powder. This is kind of gonna give me that like more fruity, like peppery, not peppery, like fruity chili aroma that is really, really nice if you've never had it. You could use any kind of chili powder here. This is like a New Mexican chili powder, whatever you want. And the big thing with this is I'm gonna use a ton of it. So that's 25 grams of red chilies, especially when you're braising. The flavors are gonna get pretty muted over time, so you can use a ton of spices and it's not gonna be like over spiced or anything. So we're gonna do 25 grams of that. I lost my fork down there. We'll grab it later. Then this is some ground cumin. Freshly, I got this at the store this morning. You guys know I ground up my seeds all the time. We're gonna do an equal part of that. So another 25 grams. 25 grams there. And then lastly, so that's gonna give us that like kind of warm, like piney and just warming spice note, which is really nice. These two play together really well. And then for some spice, I'm gonna go with some pure cayenne here, but I'm gonna do less. So we're gonna go with, I'm gonna call it, let's say, 10 grams of cayenne pepper. And this is what, about 1.5 liters of water. And I'm just gonna give this a quick blend up. Oh wait, my fork's still in here. Luckily that wasn't in the way. And just like that, we have a flavorful braising liquid. I'm gonna check back on my beef back here. It's this guy. So as you can see, we've got some nice browning underneath there. And really these are those like I mean, yeah, you only get one chance to do it, so may as well get some nice browning while you can. Oh, and I forgot the garlic. So once I'm gonna throw some garlic in here too. Just whole garlic cloves. Where's my little masher? So the idea with the garlic, keeping them whole, you can kind of do it however you want. I just want them to kind of get more like roasty, and then we'll mash them in with the beef once it's completely shredded down. Just like a nice kind of loose aromatic that you can give to these kind of beef tacos. Ouch. Okay, so I've got my garlic, got my braising liquid. I'm just gonna put some stuff away while that finishes searing back there, and then we'll just toss kind of everything into the oven. Very simple dish, and then I think what's best about this is we're gonna make some tacos out of it, but you could really use this beef for a number of different things. If you wanna do kind of beef and rice bowls, you could make quesadillas, you could make a torta out of it. You know, very, very useful kind of just thing to have in your fridge, freezer, whatever you want to do with it. Oh, I've got a chunk of something. This is a little rotten down here. I don't know where my knives are. Oh, here. Slice off this little rotten piece of garlic. Looks good. Okay, then I'm going to check back on my beef. I think we should be nice and browned. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're nice and browned. I'm going to bring over the liquids. So I'm going to toss those garlic cubes down in there. I'll let them saute for just a second, I guess. And then we'll pour in all this liquid. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. You could let this on the stove, but for me and what I like to do, I just throw it in the oven so that I can kind of forget about it. I'll come back several hours later. When I'm doing chuck roast, I think it's always better to err on the side of longer rather than underdoing it, because I want everything fully shreddable. So I'm looking for probably like at least 5, maybe 6 to 7 hours, just depending on how things are going, because we want to get it up to like 200-ish so that collagen starts to break down. And then if you can keep it in that zone, that's when it gets nice, soft, and luscious. So this is a little hot. Let's transfer it over to the oven, and then due to editing magic, we'll come back when this thing's nice and shredded. So, like I said, I'm gonna just do low and slow. So I'm literally gonna put this at 275 for now. Yeah, and that's really all there is to it. 275, I'll probably let this go for at least, 5 or 6 hours, and then we'll check back in then. Again, this right here is the magic of the braise. Instead of shredding it last night, I was like, I'll just do it tonight. So I just got home from a workout, threw this on the stove to heat it back up, and then I will shred it all. And you can see this is just falling apart. You know, let the dog out, fed the dog, kind of did some stuff around the house for about 45 minutes. And that's why like braising, I'll just keep on saying it like over and over. It's like the perfect thing to fit in with your lifestyle, with whatever you got going on. Like, you know, probably 15 to 20 minutes worth of active time, and then the rest of it's just completely inactive. Now, to heat these tortillas up, and I got the white ones, I felt like they just will contrast a little bit better. I'm gonna do a little dip in our sauce back there, and then throw this back on the griddle, and we'll kind of fry them up a little bit with getting some of that really flavorful beef fat in there. I think 2 will be enough for now. And then, like I said, for this beef, I mean, just ultra tender. So I think in total, this was probably in the fridge for, or sorry, not in the fridge. I think it was in the oven for about 6 hours. And then I guess I did another hour or 45 minutes on the stove right now. And one of the biggest keys, like the only mistake you can make when you're kind of doing this is just not letting it cook long enough. Like that's how it gets tough and dry, is if you just don't let all that collagen break down, if you don't let all the fat render, that's what happens when you kind of have tough chuck roast. And then obviously if you can get like oh my gosh, I almost dropped some. If you can get some really nice like fattier with some better marbling in there for a chuck roast, it's gonna be super juicy. There's more fat in there. Obviously that'll melt out and get all infused with this. And then, I mean, yeah, this stuff is incredible. Also, I will say, if you are a little sensitive to spice, I would probably dial back the cayenne pepper a little bit. Like it's a good, for me, it's like a perfect amount of spice, but I could see this being maybe a little bit on the spicier side if you're not careful. Yeah, and then I think I'm just gonna toss this right back in our chili oil and chili sauce broth. Hopper is right below me. I decided to leave him out for this. We'll see how he does. He's waiting for a bite of the beef. If he's good, maybe I'll give him a treat after we're done. Man, this looks incredible. All right, let me wipe that down. I can't stop eating it. My gosh. Okay, lightly crisped up taco shells, looking beautiful. So very, very simple. I want to keep this really simple, kind of like how you'd see maybe at a street taco where it's just the meat, a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of white onion, and then I'm going to add a little bit of this green, hot sauce for some acidity, which will help kind of cut through the fattiness of the beef a little bit. If you have a lime, I don't have a lime, that would be a really, really good addition here as well. So a little bit of our white onion, a little bit of our cilantro, little dab for acidity. My mouth is actively watering. Let's get into this. Oh my God. I think I could easily throw back a dozen of these right now. I mean, just ultra tender beef. It's spicy, it's aromatic. Mix it with the freshness of that onion and cilantro. Just that slight crispiness from, you know, heating it up on that griddle back there. I mean, if you eat this, it can't not put you in a good mood. So Recipe for this one will be up on the website, as always, if you guys want to follow it exactly, but feel free to experiment with whatever spices you happen to have. I'm going to go eat a couple more of these. I will catch you in the next one. Peace, y'all. I think these might be a little too spicy for Hopper here. We'll have to give him a dog-friendly treat instead.